What is a construction site waste management plan? I covered this a long time ago, but we've gotten questions about this that I want to answer right now that I think will really turn this into something remarkable and expand our paradigm. So I'm super stoked about that. If you're into that, stay with us. I'm going to start going through some questions one by one. Number one, what does a waste management plan actually include? Well, I'm glad you asked. A proper waste management plan will not only have a plan for what is waste, what is recycle, what is steel recycling, and what will you do with the money for the steel recycling, and where these things are located, but this is also key. It will show you haul routes. It will show you hoisting planning for how we get it from one place to another. The plan will actually talk about how we're going to prevent waste through things like pre-kitting or prefabrication or modular, and how we're going to actually reduce waste from the start, how we're going to reuse things without keeping too much of an excess of inventory. And this is the most important part. This is so good. How workers and foremen can actually get the waste and the recycling from the work in the most efficient manner, on a rhythm, on a schedule, to the dumpsters, and that it's constantly on a Kanban system or a signal system so that we never have overflowing dumpsters. That's your waste management plan. And let me say this, I didn't fully get it until two things. One was a job that I ran, a laboratory. It was basically a postage stamp site. It was like zero lot line. Like we were right up against the road. And we literally pre-cut, pre-kit almost everything. We reduced, this is going to sound unrealistic, but we reduced about 20% of the waste because we didn't have a lot of room for the dumpsters and for recycling. And when we did, it was very effective. We had a wonderful trash chute system. We had a very safe receiving system down below and a very neat Kanban or signaling system to empty them before they overflowed. The other one was working with multifamily. And what I learned is you have to have scrap out units, and because you're going so fast, because in tack planning we've reduced the tack time and the zone sizes down so much to where we're going so fast that like literally the next biggest constraint is how do you get trash out of the building? Now, minimize it for sure, but you have to have scrap out units and literally schedule when all of the waste comes back out the building once you've reduced it as much as you can. It has to be choreographed so well that the forklift and the dumpsters are not your most limiting factor, which in multifamily it's becoming that way. So now my mind is expanded. No, waste management is a big deal. We want to reduce it. We don't want waste at all, right? So we're working towards that. But if you do have some waste and some cutting and some trash and so, like some things just come in boxes and, have pallets and, with supply chains, sometimes you just have some of that waste, right? How you get it out of the building and out of people's way is almost as important as how you get it in. So that is my first answer. Second, how do I set up waste zones without slowing production? Now this is great. This is like, if you ever thought I was lecturing in industry, this is what's happening now. Everybody goes through and they're like, my train of trades is going to flow through the building once. No, it never happens that way. The first floor never happens that way. Around your elevator, it never happens that way. Your stairwells, it never happens that way. Your leave outs, it never happens that way. Your hoist never, ever, ever happens that way. Your scrap out units, where you're literally removing trash, or you have your trash chute or your hoist, there has to be a secondary flow. This is what I mean. We are fooling ourselves if we don't do this. And I've seen this especially in high rises. You have to go up with your train of trades in the first pass, right? And then the second pass, and people are like, Jason, that's a waste. But it always happens. I've never seen it not happen. You have to have time to close the elevator, to close those storm drain downspouts, to close the exterior where your hoist was, to literally get out of level one and get the elevator staging off of the floor, right? And then once all that is done and buttoned up, and your leave out areas are done, your comeback rooms are done, then you have a second pass of your trade of trades. And if you do it that way and plan it that way and zone it that way, and you already know and have it bought out, it will not slow up the flow of your production. So we've got to be smart about this and know that your scrap out units or points or areas are a part of that secondary comeback, that secondary flow. Number 3, this is such a great video. I'm not bragging about myself. I'm just excited to be here with you. Who's responsible for enforcing that? The general contractor, general contractor, general contractor. Some people in lean, and I love them, here's a heart, they're like, oh, go talk about lean principles and everybody will just magically want to do what's right. And it's just this beautiful hippie commune. I don't have a problem with hippies. I'm just like, it's this beautiful thing. No, that will never work. Patrick Lencioni was right. The top third of your organization and your job site will be bought in, the middle will be neutral, and the bottom will be dissenters. And until the GC says this is the minimum standard, you will have dissenters. And once you say this is the minimum standard, people will move up that chain. 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. Okay, and so here's the deal. I am General Patton when it comes to the site and the rules. It will be perfectly clean. It will be perfectly organized. It will be perfectly on time. We will follow the hoist schedule. We will follow the scrap out schedule. This is zero tolerance. I'm General Patton about that because it's my job to keep a perfectly clean site. But I am Simon Sinek and Brene Brown with people. Once they are on the site and I'm giving them what they need, we have a beautiful environment. Everybody rises to the occasion, 100%. Then people can do their best work and they're like, wow, this is real respect. This is real collaboration. This is a place I want to be because we were strict about the environment. Punishment? No. Respect? Yes. Number 4, how can better waste management help the schedule? Well, a couple of different reasons. First of all, if you're eliminating waste, you save time. You have better production rates. And the other thing is, remember Paul Akers' 8 wastes, right? And the first thing is overproduction. If you have too many materials, which includes waste, then you have transportation. And when you have transportation, then you have excess inventory. And when you have excess inventory, it gets damaged. You have defects. When you have defects, now you have to fix it, which is overprocessing. And when you have overprocessing, now you have waiting. And I could keep going, but my point is this: excess materials slow you down just as much as too many materials being in your way does. It causes the other wastes. And the way I like to do it is overprocessing creates excess inventory, which has to be moved and transported, which creates motion, which creates defects, which creates the need to fix it, which is overprocessing, which means that you have waiting and you're not using the genius of the team. Of course, it translates to actual production. And the faster everything can flow, the faster your building will get built. Most of the time, it's not about building it. Most of the time, it's about getting materials there and getting waste out of the way. And so that's how it affects the schedule. And number 5, how do I build waste removal into our normal routines? Well, I'll tell you, we need to have Kanban or signal systems to trigger when waste goes out. We need a schedule system for when trash cans and dumpsters or scrap out units get emptied. And we need to have this on a logistics plan in the afternoon foreman huddle for foremen to coordinate daily. And if you do so, then you will have that a part of your normal routine. So really, you must have a plan. And I don't even want to talk anymore about this because those are the key things. These are questions that we've gotten since the first video, that if you do that, you'll be successful. And I want that on a visual. I want it in your conference room. I want it discussed every day in your afternoon foreman huddle, and improve it, improve it, improve it. PDCA, plan, do, check, adjust. Plan, do, check, act. And you will have a remarkable waste management plan. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to turn it into a graphic for you in a blog post. On we go.